This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How we doing today on a Monday? It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com, right here on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, BamaCentral Facebook page. We're hanging out with you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. Having a lot of fun in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. Call Derek for all your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there with our friend Theo Fernandez. Follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez __ on the social media machines. We're going to have a lot of fun today talking Alabama basketball, Alabama football, two huge wins. Was it the biggest day in Alabama athletics history? No, probably not the biggest day, but it's in there. It's up there in the category of biggest days as Alabama takes down number 5 St. John's 103-96, and then came back home and defeated the LSU Fighting Bengal Tigers 20-19 to remain in the driver's seat to get to the SEC championship in a couple of weeks. So we're going to talk about really both games with Theo Fernandez. We're going to go to the voicemail line. You can find us on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. You can find us and leave us a comment at Joe Gaither6 at Bama Central. What did you think about the two performances? Alabama basketball, Alabama football. What made you feel more warm fuzzies? What did you enjoy more? The football win at night at home, beating your rival, or going on the road winning in Madison Square Garden? We'll talk about all of that with Theo Fernandez. But first, we want to tell you the show is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. You can call them for all of your roofing needs at 877-787-6635. Purple Turtle Roofing is not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home and business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certification, and commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacement, and insurance claim support. So call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-PT-ROOF-5. That's 877-787-6635. Let's have a lot of fun, Theo. You ready? Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great this morning, Joe. Ready to talk some Alabama and only Alabama athletics.
Well, the reason we're late today is because we were already you were fighting over yesterday's NFL game. So that's why we were late getting on today.
Yeah, and then beyond that, just watching Brian Daboll coach, like it takes all the motivation out of me. So it's like I just couldn't even get out of bed. I'm just laying there thinking about him and Shane Bowen and like unable to even move. So
man, you hear that? It's the Mara family, right? You hear that, Mr. Mara? You're really, really sucking the life out of your fan base. You need to make a change so that the productivity can go back up in the Giants fan base. Everybody can feel the will to live again.
Yeah, and I do. Obviously, we all obviously wish Mr. Mara the best with all his struggles, but
health struggles.
Yeah, he
terrible.
Does have cancer. Got diagnosed a few weeks ago. But,
no, terrible.
The team's got to get things done. Start winning for him next year, man.
Yeah,
I'm fed up with this performance on the field.
Yeah, y'all definitely should have beaten the Chicago Bears yesterday. I was sitting there stewing, and then the young quarterback Jackson Dart gets a concussion because, look, guys, stop running if you're a quarterback. Just run some. Don't make that your primary thing. Just run a little bit. But then gets a concussion. I mean, running's part of his game, but just don't run all the time. That's like the only. It was quarterback run or tight end up the seam.
Yeah, but look who he has to throw to. Like, there's nothing.
Then hand the ball off and take a loss.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a lot of taking losses.
Right. You're getting yourself. I mean, I saw that was the 4th time this season he's been evaluated for a concussion already. Like, come on, man. Let's dial it in. Do you want to have a 10-year career, or do you want to have a 3-year career? It's really up to you. But goes out of the game. Russell Wilson comes in and looks really. And so the Bears were able to pull one off. It really saved my mood, and I'm sure put your mood into a tank. So let's move into Alabama stuff. Do you want to start with football or basketball? probably basketball.
Sure, let's start with basketball.
I mean, I will just start there because I asked the question, what gave you more warm fuzzies? What made you feel better?
You know what the answer is there. First of all, biggest day in Alabama history. It'd have to go 2021 beating Gonzaga and Georgia in the same day.
Very good one. Very good one.
One I think is held a little more importance, but this is the biggest win basketball has had at least since that Gonzaga game. It may be even bigger than that one.
Regular season,
yeah.
Because you got to the Final Four.
No, regular season, we're talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because that is just, I mean, man, you walk in the most historic arena in sports, and you beat a Hall of Fame coach. And not only that, you beat the Hall of Fame coach who has inspired the style of basketball that Nate Oates plays. It is just such a, to me, it's such like a symbolic game almost. You know, you can look at the, first of all, this is the top 15 team that just beat a top 5 team, Alabama basketball. There's so much to be happy about with just this year's team. But you look at it now and it's like you've made back-to-back Elite Eights. You've had all the success under Oates, and you walked in with the entirety of the college basketball world watching and did that to a Hall of Fame coach. Like, Alabama basketball is officially a big-time program. That's my takeaway from this game.
I mean, it's hard not to have that takeaway. I was, Mason and myself both picked Alabama to lose on Friday, so I will own the egg that's on my face in that. And Coach, thank you for cracking that egg right over my head. The yolk running on down my face feels actually very, very good. I appreciate that. Just went in there and beat them. Like, it wasn't close. It wasn't a fluke. Well, what was so upsetting or so just wild to watch was the foul disparity throughout the entire game. I mean, Alabama ends up shooting. Let me pull back my stats split blocks here. Ends up shooting. Oh, come on, baby. 48% from the floor, 31% from three. So, like, you want a little more 3-point, like, percentage-wise, but you 11 of 35 to their 6 of 17. So, 5 more threes for you. And then you end up taking 20 more shots from the floor. And a lot of that is because of the free throw disparity. They ended up taking 18 more free throws than you did. But just was really able to manage the foul trouble. You're really wondering, okay, is Latrell, is Aiden Holloway going to be coming back? Is Keaton Bristow going to be coming back? Well, you got 2 out of 3, and so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Isn't that a line? Isn't that a musical line? 2 out of 3 ain't bad, or is it 3 out of 4 ain't bad? It's one of those.
Right. Maybe.
And so really, you have LeBaron and Aiden Holloway, and LeBaron had the I don't want to say quiet as 25 because it definitely wasn't quiet, but I was sitting there yelling, and I'm sure I distracted Hunter DeCiver the entire time because Hunter was writing for us at BamaCentral.com, and I wrote a piece as well, but Hunter was carrying most of the load, and I'm sitting there just yelling like a madman in my living room about LeBaron. Come on, let's take over, because I don't feel like he asserted himself until the last handful of minutes, and it was just like the most casual is better because it wasn't quiet 25. It was a casual 25. He ends up scoring a handful of points towards the end, 3, 4, 5. Let me counting them. 6, 7 points in the last 7 minutes, and really going even back, it was 5 points in the last 3 minutes. To make sure that Alabama came away with a victory. And it was just hustle plays. The entire team was hustling their tail off. You out-rebounded St. John's 43-42. You got more offensive rebounds than they did, 14-10. You ended up with more second chance points, 19-15, and really just took it to them. More points in the paint, 54-40. You ended up getting, even on the fast break, 21 all. But just really, really a great performance. I mean, you ended up 7 turnovers the whole day. 7 freaking turnovers for Alabama against a team that in their first game against Quinnipiac, they forced 22 turnovers. Alabama in Alabama's first game had 15 turnovers, and turnovers have been a problem for this program for a number of years, at least last year, a number of years. Your guards here, LeBaron with just 1, Aiden Holloway 0, Houston Millette was 0 as well. I mean, Aiden Sherrill had all your turnovers, 3. Amari Allen had a turnover, freshman. Collins. Man, they said his name a funny way. Onyejaka. And I'm still gonna have to figure out how to say his name. We're gonna find out from Steven Gonzalez this Wednesday. We're gonna ask, can you just say it to us a couple of times? So your big man, Collins and Aiden Sherrill ended up with 4 of your 7 turnovers. So the rest, all your ball handlers, Latrell 0 turnovers, and praise the Lord, Latrell was having a great game. 17 points for Latrell Wrightsell, was having a great game. 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. Right, was having a really solid game, and then started to limp off the floor, and like, Alabama was winning, and I'm feeling like I don't even care if we win this game anymore. Please, Latrell, not have a catastrophic injury. And for a while, no update, and the broadcast was hard to watch a little bit because of their slight to the Big East team, to St. John's. I mean, they're not in the Big. It is Big East still, yes. Right? Their favoritism to the St. John to the Red Storm, and so it was a tough broadcast to listen to. And I kept thinking, where's the Latrell update? But Latrell comes back into the game, and they said, it's just cramps. Let's see, where is it? Subbed out at subbed out at 15:09 in the second half. Alabama's up 69-58, so you've got that 11-point lead, and he doesn't come back in until 8:50, basically 9-minute mark, and Alabama still had a 13-point lead, a 3-point lead, 80-77. So like, they closed the gap when Latrell wasn't out there, and yeah. Some of that is Latrell, and some of that's just the game flow. But Latrell gets back in there and ends up he didn't score another point, but it was assist, steal. No, he did score another point. He has good layup and good free throw. So 3 more points when he came back in with an assist and 2 more steals. But more importantly, coming back into the game and not having a catastrophic injury like cramps. All right, brother, we can get you some Gatorade, get you some salt packets, get you a banana, and rub down your calf and get you back in there. But goodness gracious, I was fearing the worst when Latrell went sidelined. And so and maybe, look, the people who followed this show long enough know that I go crazy for Alabama basketball, know that is like in the Chicago Bear category. Like, I have a hard time being objective with Alabama basketball. I have a much easier, hopefully, at least my perception is that I have an easier time being objective with Alabama football and less emotional. But maybe that's not the case, and I welcome anybody's anybody's criticism there. That's okay. But like, I'm sitting there like losing my mind in the living room. Come on, and stop, defend, rebound. Taylor Bowen, absolutely insane. Like, you see the entire reason why Coach Oates last Monday was living in Taylor Bowen's rear end after every mistake and every effort issue, and coming into the post-game press conference talking about, we didn't get any offensive rebounds for Taylor Bowen 2 games in a row. No offensive boards for Bowen. He needs to watch the Houston Millette tape. Taylor Bowen effort, just kind of dogging him a little bit. But you see exactly why he did dog him. 17 points for Taylor Bowen, 9 rebounds, 4 offensive boards, an assist, 2 blocks, 2 steals, was all over the place on both sides of the ball, and aggressive in the pick and rolls. Alabama in the pick and rolls was just incredible, but Taylor Bowen rolling to the rim, getting easy buckets, or easy tough buckets. You see exactly what the potential of this team can be, and why Coach Oates was like, just I don't know a nicer way to say it, but he was riding Taylor Bowen's rear end like hard on Monday every single time in the North Dakota game. Pulled him out on the bench, just hollering at him, and Yeah, I thought, wow, does he have a personal issue with Taylor Bone? And it wasn't a personal issue. It was a, hey, man, you have a lot more to give us. We know this. Come on, why aren't you giving it to us? He goes up to St. John's and really gives it to you. It goes up to Madison Square Garden. Excuse me. I guess it is technically a neutral site game, and really gives it to you. Just an amazing performance for Alabama basketball, coming away with a win. Really fighting through the foul trouble. Aiden Holloway ended up fouling out with 21 points. It was Sherrell with 4 fouls, LeBaron with 4 fouls, Bo Bowen and Houston Lett each had 3. Noah Williamson ended up with 3. Yeah, man, it felt like you were just fighting all kinds of factors, but you still found a way to win 103-96.
Yeah, Joe, that's just a gutsy performance, like you said. And you talk about Phylon, and you talk about you're watching it. Phylon. Should have known that one was coming. Talking about waiting for him to take over that basketball game. You know, one of the things to me that's so special about him is that here you have a guy who's legitimately going to be a superstar. Phylon will be a top 8 pick in this NBA draft.
Yes.
And you have this guy who's able to do all this incredible stuff. You just look at how rarely Phylon does something that actually hurts the team, right? Whether it's taking a bad shot, whether it's a turnover. He does that so infrequently. But the good stuff he does, he's able to do it without completely taking over the game, which is just so rare. Like you never were watching Mark Sears last year on this team on a day when he was on. Like you're watching Mark Sears. Yeah, he is the guy out on the court, right? Everything runs through him. It's Mark Sears playing basketball with 4 other guys. Phylon, he can be putting up, he can score 14 points in the second half, and you don't necessarily realize he's doing it until the end, right?
Till that step back 3 dagger.
But then he's there with it. Or I got reminded of watching my Thunder. I got reminded of watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the, I'm going to drive it, I'm going to step back, and I'm taking that mid-range shot.
He hit that midi late. Yep.
Which you don't see a lot, but he is such a skilled player for this team. That's a shot that Nate Oates is okay with him taking.
He clearly has the green light from Coach Oates anywhere on the floor. And not everybody does.
No, very few players get that green light from Nate Oates. He does. He is a special player. He is a guy that I think will be on one of the All-American teams this year. He is a guy who I think will be on the All-SEC first team. This is a player who's going to put together a special season for Alabama basketball. And, you just look at Holloway, you shoot 2 of 9 from 3. You still end up with a solid 21 points on, okay efficiency. Not the best performance, but you still.
But also getting to the rim.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole team got to the rim. Keep going.
No, like you're saying, Holloway is driving, and Holloway's just overall presence on the court, I think, has improved a lot. There is almost nothing. I don't think there's a single thing that I have to be critical of about this team right now. From what I expected coming in to where this team is, and getting St. John's led by this coach to play Alabama basketball for 40 minutes against him, right? They went out and they played Alabama's game. Alabama did not play St. John's game. And that is an incredible thing. And just telling of how dangerous this year's team is. And sure, you can pick apart, I think Aiden Sherrell's got to do some things better. I think that there are guys out there who have to play into their roles a little more and have to develop a little more, but it is incredible that this team is in this spot, that this team is going to go out and I think beat Purdue in a couple days now. And that I think this Alabama basketball team is just as good as they've been the last 2 years. What a win.
We're a better basketball team than us tonight. We could not guard them off the dribble. Very few teams can. They've got excellent offensive talent. We learned a lot tonight. Disappointed we lost, but we certainly learned a lot, and we'll get better from it. And we were quick shooting a lot, not letting them have to play defense. And then we flipped it at the other end, and we couldn't guard them off the bounce. So
Not them.
our guards didn't play particularly well tonight, but that's because they have great guards. It wasn't anything the guys did offensively except try to play too much like Alabama. We lost this game at the defensive end. When we told them that Alabama doesn't lose many games when you don't turn them over more than you turn the ball over. And tonight it was 7 versus 12. Obviously it's 33 to 18 from the three-point line, but you have to turn them over in order to beat them, and we couldn't do it tonight. They're tough to guard one-on-one, and we didn't do a good job of it. We didn't do a good job of their slip pick and rolls, but they're tough to guard. They really are. They just played a great team, second game of the season. That's really what it comes down to. Look, we had 18 assists. We scored 96 points, and they scored 103. So you're not going to, when you give up 103 points, you're not going to win. We don't have the ability to score 106, 103. I think their guards are some of the better guards in the country. Really tough to guard, really tough to guard. How defense is so important. This team can make you look bad in the open court, and they did at times. But I'll say this, they're tough to guard. I can't.
Say it again,
There's
Coach.
no lateral quickness statements here. They're tough to guard. They were the more, and I'll say this, they were the more locked-in team offensively. They knew how to exploit, but they do it against everybody. And the only time they lose is when you turn them over more. Then you commit yourself. And I told them in the locker room, look, they were the better team tonight. Don't hang your heads. They were the better team. They outplayed us.
Oh, say it again, Coach. They're tough to guard. They're tough to guard. You talk about being critical. My only critique is with the bigs a little bit, but I think that you're going to get Keaton Bristow back, and I think it's going to help the rotation on the bigs. You got to get something out of Collins. You got to get something out of Noah Williamson. Well, you got basically nothing out of both those guys, and I don't think you should expect that much out of Collins because he's 17 and so young and so green. But Noah Williamson, he looked a little out of place last Monday against North Dakota. He looked a lot out of place against a high-level team in St. John's. You can't increase someone's athleticism, but you got to figure out how to play with this team. Like when I saw Noah Williamson move, did you watch The Addams Family as a kid?
I did not.
He looks like, you can type this into Google, but he looks like Lurch to me. Just Lurch was basically their version of like Frankenstein's monster. Very, very stiff, tall, just no athleticism, just slow mover, just really tall. And to me, that's what he looks like out on the court. And like, you're not going to increase someone's athleticism by 5-10% throughout the course of a year, but you've got to figure out how to get some things out of him going through the rest of the year, and especially Thursday when Purdue comes to town. I think he's going to have to give you something other than 0 points, 3 rebounds, two offense. Like, you like the 2 boards, but the ball's basically bounced right to him.
Yeah.
One block. The ball is basically bounced right to him. And so you're going to have to get a little more out of him. Hopefully Keaton Bristow will be back for Thursday. I think he was pretty close this past Saturday to being able to go, but wasn't. So very curious to see what will happen with him. Go ahead.
This is a basketball team that could really, really use the services of Darian Reed right now. I mean, it's just, I'm not going to say I'm out on Noah Williamson, but I'm quickly fading on the idea of him being a significant contributing player for this roster. I mean,
Yeah.
It is just, he brings a unique skill set, right? He's a great passer for a big. He's shown an ability to dominate basketball games, right? You always want to give a guy like that a shot. With the style of basketball that this team plays, with the spacing of the rest of the team, with the wedge, that everything is set up around him as the center, right? I'm struggling to see a way in which he contributes meaningful minutes against really any SEC school, against any of these big matchups that Alabama's playing in the next week or two. Like I would love to see this one. I love seeing a guy. Yeah, you come from the Patriot League, and now I'm dominating in the SEC, or even as I'm playing 18 minutes a game as a backup center. I don't know. I don't think that Noah Williamson is going to be that story this year for Alabama.
Yeah, I think you should curtail your expectations. I think what you should hope for is Sherelle to get a little more in shape, in game shape. But I think you really need to hope for Collins to come along, because Collins athletically, I think he's got some athleticism and he's big enough. I think he's quick enough. I think it's going to be a comfort factor for Collins, and getting assimilated to the college game. Basically moving from high school to college is always tough. I think you're going to have to hope for Collins basically taking that step as a child. A 17-year-old should be a high school senior right now. I think you should, that is really, if you're looking at the bigs and kind of the rotation, I think you're hoping for a little bit more from Sherelle, which I think is not crazy. And I think you're hoping for Collins to find himself a role on this team, create himself a role in this team as basically your direct backup to Aiden Sherelle.
And I will say, I am still very high. Not that and this hasn't changed from the beginning of the season. I'm high on Keaton Bristow.
Oh, yes. I
think that what he brings to the table is just I don't want to say spark plug type guy, because we usually associate those, with more, because blue collar spark plug.
Yeah, you should see him as
you
should see him as another version of Taylor Bowen, just athletic, long, able to guard multiple positions in the front court, and I think very, very aggressive rebounder is kind of really everything that we've heard from the summer was, wow, he's dominating on the glass. He's able to go up and get it, find himself in good positions, and basically just sky for these rebounds.
I think we'll see a game or two this year where, it's the classic, Alabama basketball can't guard anything. Everything's falling. Alabama looks like they're going to give up 125, and Bristow comes into the game, energizes the team, just gives them what they need defensively and helps the team turn it around. Like, I think that's the kind of thing we'll see out of him a time or two this year. And I'm excited for what he can bring to the table, but I do think that we will be a little disappointed by the bigs as a whole at many points this season.
All that without even Jaleel Bethea. Woo!
I keep forgetting he's living on the team, man. This is terrifying.
Oh man, are you dreaming of Indianapolis? I'm dreaming of Indianapolis.
Nice, easy 8-hour road trip, man.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, exactly. The last Alabama made the Final Four in Arizona, and a lot of Alabama fans made it out there. I got to give credit to the Crimson Tide fan base for doing that, and obviously part of that is the history factor, wanting to see the first one. But if they can get to Indianapolis, Bama Nation might take that place over.
Everyone's going to that place. Man.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I know we're way ahead of ourselves with that, but that's how crazy. Like,
it really did feel like, they said it on the broadcast. It felt like April basketball between those two teams.
Yeah, they kept saying that, and I kept being like, "Shut the bleep up! Like, why would you say that? You're jinxing." And I'm like, you're too ahead of yourselves. And then as Alabama's winning, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Indy. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, Indy.
Yeah.
So maybe we're all ahead of ourselves right there. So Alabama basketball, huge win. You got any other basketball thoughts before we start pivoting?
No, I just am beyond excited for Thursday. That's all.
Yeah, that's where I want to land and use that as the pivot. Thursday, go ahead. Look, I don't care what your plans are. Get into Coleman Coliseum. Please get into Coleman Coliseum, because Alabama's taking on number 1 Purdue. The first time Alabama has played number 1 in non-conference action right there in Coleman Coliseum ever. You've played number 1 a couple of different times in conference action, whether it be Kentucky or Florida. You've played number 1 before a couple of times right there in Coleman Coliseum. But this will be the first time to play a non-conference opponent, and Purdue has been a pain in Coach Oates' rear end. It was a great game last year up in Purdue. Ultimately, they end up beating you. They didn't they? Yeah, they beat Al. They beat Alabama. That was not fun. But LeBaron had a good game, but I think nobody else did. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. So get into Coleman Coliseum on Thursday. Make your plans. Number one, Purdue. New AP poll is going to be coming out pretty soon. We'll see if they're still number one. There's no reason for them to really drop. Alabama moves from 15 to 8? 7, 8, 6. We'll see what happens, what they give Alabama in the new AP poll ranking. And Hunter Decider will be writing it for BamaCentral.com. You can follow all the action and all the coverage right there, BamaCentral.com. We'll be going over to the Malmore Athletic Facility here in just a little bit to talk to Ryan Grubb, to talk to Kane Womack, and to talk to Kalen DeBoer to wrap up this Alabama-LSU game and to start setting up this Oklahoma matchup, which I think is huge for Alabama football. And I think it's very, very dangerous for Alabama football, considering what Oklahoma's strengths are defensively and where Alabama's offense has really found the quicksand, has found the mud, has been stuck in the bog over the last couple of weeks in particular, the last 2 weeks in particular. But Alabama beats LSU, so let's transition a little bit. We're going to, that's what we're going to do. We're going to tell you about Purple Turtle Roofing. We're going to start talking about Alabama football with Dax on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340. So first, we want to tell you guys about our friends at Purple Turtle Roofing. They are not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home and business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certification, and commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. Purple Turtle Roofing specializes in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full roof replacements, insurance claim support, and more. Call them at 877-787-6635 for your roofing needs. If you've got a problem, call Purple Turtle Roofing. We're going to have Brax Garrison. Who? Did you remember? Were you covering football when Brax Garrison was playing at Gordo, was playing at County High?
No, I missed that.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll have Brax Garrison join us on Wednesday, and he's going to talk some football, talk some basketball with us, talk some LSU game with us, and Oklahoma matchup. But he's also going to tell us about Purple Turtle Roofing, what he's been up to with the Purple Turtle Company. We got our man Dustin Foley hooking us up once again. So call them at 877-787-6635. Purple Turtle Roofing. Whether you have a small problem or a big problem with your roof, they can take care of you, and we really appreciate them taking care of us on the Joe Gaither Show. So call them 877-787-6635. And, of course, you can get part of the program by calling us on the voicemail machine, as Dax did. It looks like Dax's phone call came from the car right outside Bryant-Denny Stadium, so we're going to get an instant reaction from Dax at 205-462-7340, extension 800.
It is Dax. Just got back to the car from Bryant-Denny Stadium. We are now 11-0 when I'm in attendance. Okay, so
First off, if we're 11-0 when Dax is in attendance, somebody needs to find that man tickets this weekend because Oklahoma is coming.
Yeah, no, that is an incredible record.
Oklahoma is coming, and that's going to be a pain. That's going to be a problem. Somebody needs to find Dax some tickets and get his rear end into the stadium because he is your good luck charm. Keep going, Dax.
wait. Here's the thing. I kept waiting for the roof to blow off of the Bryant-Denny, but it literally just never happened. I was mostly comfortable with how the game was going, pretty much the whole game. Like, I was pretty confident that we were going to win, like, right out of the first quarter. But I once again predicted what the score should have been, aside from what it was. We should put up 40 points, but Ty was looking a little rattled. Don't really know what that was about. Probably because our O-line, is garbage. But the defense, hats off to them. They played very, very well. They won it for us again. Kane Womack, have my respect. Appreciate you, Bubba. But my word, we cannot run the ball. It is pitiful how bad our run game is. And I'm fairly certain it's like 90% the offensive line is why we cannot run the ball. Mm-hmm. It is not the running backs at all. But you know what? We're 1-0 this week. Roll Tide, beat LSU. Now on to Oklahoma, which is going to be a much harder test, but it's fine. Roll Tide.
Yeah, no, Dax is leading the show in hypothetical correct score predictions this year because he's right. I mean, this team should have scored 40. And, I do want to make a quick note on the atmosphere because my family came in for this game. They went to they went to Ole Miss in 2023. So, this one, night game. I got my brother sitting in the student section with me, expecting a crazy atmosphere. And it just was not. Now, with that being said, there was no point in that game, even when LSU, sure, they have the ball down 8 in the fourth quarter. There was no point in the game where I think anyone really thought there was any shot Alabama would lose. And that's what, I told my family after, like, yeah, you guys did not get an elite Brian Denny atmosphere because it was probably the least eventful game Alabama's played all year. But, back to Dax's overall voicemail. Are we officially writing off the possibility of Alabama being a good team in any facet running the ball this year?
That's so hard for me to punt on because I think it's so crucial. Like for all your championship aspirations, you're going to, unless Ty just be, and Ty's good. Ty is a good quarterback, so like here with the grandson. But unless Ty becomes just unconscious, just goes to a place where, and the passing game as a whole, which it's not right now, the passing game as a whole is also getting junked up because of not getting open down the field a little bit, and maybe some long developing routes a little bit, and your deep passing game is non-existent. I think you're 4 of like 14, 4 of like 30. I don't know. I don't know what the exact number is. I saw it earlier. Hold on, I'll be able to pull it back up. But you're 1 of 4 on deep shots against LSU. So you're not being able to get the ball down the field really at all in this offense. You were 1 of 9 against South Carolina down the field. Yeah, you are 2 of 14. 2 of 14 on passes more than 30 yards on this year. 1 of 4 against LSU, and I'm pretty sure you hit 1 against South Carolina. So, like, if the ball is 30 yards in the air, you've only tried it 14 dang times, but you're 2 of 14. And last year, we remember, like, for all the people crying about Jalen Milroe, like he was able to hit that deep shot very, very efficiently. And then he obviously had the element of quarterback run that mitigated the problems that you still had running the football with your tailbacks. And maybe it's like, I think Dax is right. You do have it. I do think it's mostly on the offensive line, but can we just have an honest conversation about Jam Miller not being a special running back?
He is not. He's a talented running back.
Yeah. I mean, he's not bad.
An SEC caliber running back. But
SEC caliber, like Mississippi State, like Kentucky,
middle. He's not an Alabama Crimson Tide.
I mean, he is because he's wearing the Alabama uniform, but like,
he's not what you think of when you think of the guys who've come through the program in the last couple of years.
Exactly.
While I do think that most of the problems come on the offensive line, I also look at the guys who've been in the backfield with the Crimson Tide, and you just know that, yeah, even with this line, these guys would be producing to a level that Jam just isn't.
Yeah, I mean, if you could swap Jam out with my favorite Alabama running back, Najee Harris, my favorite 3, Najee, Derrick Henry, and then Mark Ingram. Like you are getting more out of the running game. You've only played AK Deer in 2 games. Are you trying to save AK Deer for the postseason because of the redshirt rule? Once the postseason happens, you can play as many games as you want. And so you played AK Deer in ULM, and he ripped off the 76-yarder, 76 total yards on 5 carries, 56-yarder down the sidelines. He rushed 2 times for 9 yards against Wisconsin. Like, you're looking at the running back room, and you're starting to think, what can you do with this running game? And it's not. Like, I'm sorry, Jam, I think, is a hard worker, absolutely, and I do think he is giving his all. But I think he's good, really good in pass protection. But I think he's like maximizing his talent right now. I think he's finding his ceiling, and I don't think his ceiling is quite good enough to be a lead running back in the SEC for a national championship contender. Yeah, you can play in this league, but you're not going to be. But you mean, yeah, said what I said. Daniel Hill, it looks to be the next best option, and Daniel Hill with the 5-yard carry gets into the end zone, basically carries through 2 or 3 LSU defenders into the end zone. Daniel Hill with 7 carries, 21 yards, so like he's at least averaging 3 yards a pop. Jam Miller 1.6 yards per carry with a 7-yard 8 carries, 13 yards with a 7-yard carry. Take that 7-yard carry away. 7 carries for 6 yards. 7 carries for 6 yards. And like, all right, we're starting with the running backs, but we'll get to the offensive line. Like, it really is an offensive line issue, but you've almost tried every viable offensive lineman that you have in their unit right now. Yeah, so like, what more can you do besides swap Cam Dewberry out again for Geno Vandermark, and swap Geno Vandermark out for William Sanders, and swap William Sanders out for Wilkin Formby? Can you play guard? Swap Wilkin Formby out for Michael Carroll. Just like, you're just doing all kinds of stuff, swapping out offensive linemen the whole year, looking for a combination, and none of them work. You don't have enough athleticism up front to get to the second level, but you also don't have enough power. Like, you're not playing with good enough pad level to get underneath some of these defensive linemen and move them off the ball, so the holes aren't really developing. And it's like, Jam, can you just squeeze through this hole? Like, you saw Kevin Riley in the first little bit of the season. He was ripping off some 4, some 5, some 7-yard runs, but he was turning his shoulders and getting skinny through the line and squirting through the line and then getting back perpendicular to the line of scrimmage and getting his 6-7 yards. Like, the holes are cracks and crevices through basically a big mountain of big bodies. And so it's like, oh, can you squeeze through the cracks and crevices? Well, Jam, you can't. You're just basically trying to bowl right through and open up your own hole, which hasn't worked out. Will Daniel Hill be able to do that? I mean, I like you, Daniel Hill, and obviously big power back. We were Daniel Mountaining through the summer, but has not been. I don't know that Daniel's gotten enough opportunity. What if we what if we gave all 8 of Jam's carries to Daniel Mountain, and you go 15 carries? Do you go 15 carries for 45 yards? Just keep that 3 yards a pop. And like, are you feeling better about that? Maybe just like 2%, 3%, a little better, but not enough to be negligible, not enough to really change how you feel about the running game. And so what do you do with the running backs? Do you go back to Kevin Riley and say, keep trying to squeeze through the cracks, my man? But like, he got himself a carry, 1 carry, 5 yards. I don't know if he's gotten himself maybe in the doghouse lately after the first little bit of the year. I don't know.
We've stopped seeing him.
Right, exactly. No, you're fine. You haven't seen him. And Richard Young has proven himself that he cannot pass block to save anyone's life. And so you're looking at Ty's health, and you're basically like, the season rides on Ty's health. And so you ain't going to put anybody out there that can't protect him to at least a little degree. Obviously, you've got offensive line issues at some points, but they're able to protect him largely enough. They're able to give him a fighting chance. Richard Young couldn't give him a fighting chance. And do you really try? Like, if Jam's vision isn't good, if Richard, if you don't have big enough holes, can Richard Young plow right through it? No, I think Richard Young, I hate to say this, but in 3 months or whatever the case may be, in 2 months, is going to be one of the first ones submitting his name to the portal.
Agreed.
And he's going to end up going to
Big 12,
SMU, ACC school. Isn't he from Florida? He's going to end up at UCF. He's going to end up at Miami. He's going to end up probably back home somewhere. And good luck to you, sir. This is not I don't hate you anyways, but like, I just don't see a role for you on this team anymore. Especially when you look at who's coming in with the running backs. You got EJ Crowell and golly, who's the other kid? EJ Crowell is coming in 2026 Alabama commits, not schedule. Javonte, what is his name? 3-star from Florida, all the way down. Ja'Vari Barnett from Tampa Bay. We got to start locking that into my memory. So, but you're bringing in EJ Crowell, and that's really your crown jewel piece right there. And Ja'Vari Barnett also in the running back room. So it's starting to get crowded. it's sayonara, Richard Young. I don't know what you do, man. I don't know what you do other than like you can't pin and pull because you're not athletic enough to get to the outside. You can't run duo because you're not powerful enough. Your pad level's not good enough through the middle. You can run a little bit of power. You've seen a little bit of power, but you're still not down blocking well enough from either tackle, which is a shame. Like Caden Proctor, you should look yourself in the mirror and be ashamed of yourself with the run blocking. And I don't know if he feels that or not, but like you're not down blocking well enough to open up power with Josh Cuevas or Jay Lindsey or anybody, Caleb Edwards coming across the line, coming through the whole lead kick out, down block kick out, power wide open. It's not happening. You're not opening up any sort of semblance of holes for these running backs. And so what do you do with the running backs? And who do you give the ball to? You saw, maybe you didn't see, but Brooks Austin went on to social media over the weekend and basically was like, Ryan Grubb, why don't we just give Daniel Hill 17 carries a game and make the defense tackle him 17 times a game? And maybe that's the answer. Just say, hey, guys, you're going to get tired of tackling number 4. He's going to eventually rip off a big one. I don't know what you do in the running game, but you asked and that's what set this kind of discussion up. Are you ready to punt on the running game as a whole? And it's like you can't. If you want to win an SEC championship, Texas A&M is going to pass rush the mess out of you, and Ohio State's going to pass rush the mess out of you and cover you. Like you have to have some sort of a running game if you want to win a championship. If you want to win an SEC championship, if you want to go far in the playoffs, you can't punt on you have to figure it out. And it's so frustrating. That was the most frustrating part about the football game was you heard it for 2 weeks. Well, we're going to get the running game fixed. Well, we're working on this. We're working on that. We're doing different things. And like Ty said, oh, we're going to have new concepts. We got under center. We had an I formation. And Ty did hit a nice play action pass in it. But the next time when you tried to run the football out of the I formation, it was 1 yard. Just pathetic in that area. And so for anybody who's trying to think of, well, will this Alabama team win a championship? My answer right now is no, because and not even a national championship, an SEC. I think Texas A&M is going to be very, very, very difficult to beat if you just have one aspect of an offense. And I do like Ty. I do like the wide receivers, but the walls are starting to close in on this Alabama offense. And so I'm pretty concerned, especially as it pertains to the running game.
Yeah, and that's the only appropriate way to feel right now. You really hit everything there, but
you don't want to disagree with me anyway or add anything?
I have nothing to disagree with. I am very, very intrigued by the Daniel Hill idea. I think he's the one guy who's consistently showing true flashes of, hey, maybe this can be something. And then I guess the other thing is, you get past Oklahoma, right? Regardless of how the game goes. Or win or loss, right? Regardless of how the game goes, you're at that point able to play AK Deer the rest of the year, right? Because the SEC championship counts as postseason.
Yeah, correct. He's played in 2 games, and I guess you could throw him out there, Oklahoma and Auburn, and still keep him as a redshirt.
I think it would make more sense though to let him ease into things against Eastern Illinois, right?
Maybe, sure. Keep going.
But like, how much do you think the team will turn to that? Like, what are the odds that we actually see real AK Deer?
5%, 8%.
Like, I don't see that being the fix, right?
I don't see it being the fix, but I see it being as like, what have you not tried? What have you not tried? And I do think he has an explosive running ability that maybe is not really in the running back room. Like I like Kevin Riley, but Kevin's kind of scat back, kind of squirt through the line, kind of thing. I think AK Deer has potential to be a 3-down running back.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you've hit just about everything, but I would love to see this running situation fixed. I don't think it will be.
Well, I'll throw it back to you. Do you think Alabama can win a championship, SEC or national championship, if the running game just stays where it is? 56 yards against LSU excuse me, 59. I didn't want to short him. 59 yards. Oh, no, that was LSU's line. It was 56. I looked at the wrong category. LSU with 59. Alabama with 56 rushing yards. 26 attempts. 56 yards. You did have a 17-yard long from Ty Simpson. Thank you, Ty, for raising up the running totals. You averaged 2.2 yards per rush against the Tigers. Can Alabama win a championship if the running game stays right where it is?
They can. I am high enough on Ty Simpson. I've been sold on just his ability to go out there in any kind of moment, any situation, and make winning plays. Whether that's fourth down against Missouri, whether that's, okay, South Carolina has us pinned against the wall. Whether that's, walking in your second career true road game, right, against Georgia and, getting the job done there. It's just time and time again he finds a way. Is Ty Simpson the greatest 2-minute drill QB
maybe
that Alabama's had? It's uncanny the way that he goes out without fail in those situations at the end of the first half. You realize how impressive it is, the amount of points that Alabama's been able to almost just steal late in a first half because Ty Simpson is just unshakable. It's incredible. You see him walk out on that field against LSU and you expect 7 to go on the scoreboard because you've just seen what he's done and you're like, yeah, that Alabama's scoring one before this half. And sure enough, he delivers. I think that I don't think there's a QB in the country that I trust more than Ty Simpson to lead a football team. I don't think that there's any reason to doubt that he can continue to do this against the teams left on the schedule, right? If it's in theory going to be A&M and then 2 or 3 top 10 teams in the playoff, I trust Ty to get it done. So I think that, we could take a huge weight off his shoulders by learning to run the football, but no, I don't think it's absolute. I think there's a path for Alabama to win without it just because Alabama has Ty Simpson. Other teams do not.
Well, Ty can do his part in the running game as well.
Yes.
The deep shot issue is jamming up. It's chicken or the egg right now. And you can decide which came first, the deep shot passing issue or the running game issue. If you can hit some of these deeper passes, 1 of 4, and at the end of the half, you found Lozia Brooks over the top. And it worked out great. You bam, you kind of laser beamed it to Ryan Williams on the next play, and great. So you scored. But you also missed Lozia Brooks in the second half, yes. And people, it was not pass interference, folks. That was not pass interference at all. And I don't know if you saw it from the stadium, your angle.
I didn't think it was.
No, Lozia slows down. The DB slows down. The ball was way underthrown. It was not a good ball. It was not a good ball at all. It hung up in the air for ages, and Ty Simpson wasn't on time to it, and there wasn't enough contact. It was not pass interference. But that very next play, Jeremy Renard breaks through the secondary and it's going long. And I don't know if Ty has a depth perception issue or a touch issue. I don't know what it is. He was pretty disappointed in the postgame about it. But you're leaving points on the table. Dax was absolutely right. You should have scored more points than you did. But if you can hit some of these deeper shots, then you're going to get these secondaries backing off a little bit more. You're going to get these linebacker crews okay, we don't need to be flying up to the line of scrimmage. Play action passing, they're going to be holding up for a little bit. They're going to be, I'm going to, instead of flying up on my run key, and then same sort of thing. You can have the defense guessing a little bit more. The running game and the deep shot passing are going hand in hand with problematic offense, and you've got to get one going to get the other going. It's like a daggum scales, right? With both of them not really threatening each other. they're not really threatening the defense. There's nothing to really respect right now except for the intermediate passing game. And that's like, well, Ty, can you do it because you're a wizard? I mean, he's done it. And then it's, oh, well, can you, Ryan Grubb, get some trick plays going? Can you throw a double screen to Ryan Williams? Can you throw swing passes to Josh Cuevas and to Elizabeth Brooks and get the ball into these guys' hands in a creative way? Like you really, really need either the deep shot passing game or a running game to just round out this offense. Because right now, like I said earlier, I think the walls are starting to close in on the offense. And I am very concerned about this Oklahoma game where Oklahoma's defense is talented enough to stay on the field with Alabama's offense. You might have some sign stealing going on. That's what I'm going to ask Coach Grubb and Coach DeBoer about today, how they're going to mitigate potential sign stealing. Yeah, I'm pretty concerned about this Oklahoma game because I'm pretty concerned about the offense. Let me tell you about Derek Daniel and State Farm Insurance, and then we'll talk about the defense because the defense was absolutely outstanding. Derek Daniel, we're in the Derek Daniel studios. You can call him at 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Red, Lane, and Bobby are upstairs. Derek is upstairs also. They'll take your phone call. They'll give you a very fast auto insurance quote. That's usually the best way for everybody to get into the building. Auto insurance quote. He can save you money on your auto insurance. Then you can talk about your home insurance and make sure you have life insurance. You've got loved ones that you care about. You want to make sure that your life is insured in case some terrible things happen. I don't even want to consider that, but you need to consider that if you've got loved ones. Call them at 205-758-3391 for your insurance needs. Home, life, auto insurance, renter's insurance. I know it's way too early. It's actually cold today for boaters insurance, but if you bought a boat on a discount because it's the off season, you need to get it insured. 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Derek Daniel, like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much money he can save you today. Whoo, the defense is saving Alabama some money right now. Saving Alabama a lot of trouble. Nikai Hill-Green, to me, Yanzi Pierre. I was pretty happy with the three players, Deontay Lawson, the three players I identified. I mean, Caden Proctor still didn't get anything going in the run game, but you protected Ty pretty well. My players were Yanzi Pierre and Caden Proctor. Deontay Lawson, 9 tackles, half tackle for a loss, 5 solo tackles. You had Yanzi Pierre, 2 tackles, 2 sacks, tackle for loss, forced fumble. But really and truly, I thought the best player on Alabama's defense was number 41, Nikai Hill-Green. 5 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and the forced fumble and the fumble recovery. Recovered his own fumble. You had LSU on a 3rd and 6, 8, 10. And they found Bauer Sharp in a little screenplay, and I was like, well, they got it, dang it. And here comes Nikai Hill-Green, just boom, thunderstick, punching it out and then falling on it. Really, really setting up Alabama's offense with strong field position. I thought the defense, I mean, we have been playing the Kane Womack game all year long and year and a half long, and the Alabama fan base has been every time a big play happens, fire Kane Womack, fire him. He don't know the standard. But you held LSU out of the end zone. 9 points. They changed their quarterback because nothing was really working. Michael Van Buren got a little something going on the ground and was just kind of frustrating to watch him and defend.
Some of those throws were just incredible out of Van Buren. I mean, there was somewhere it's like Alabama was playing great defense. He still somehow found the window.
Right. The other team is on scholarship too. When people complain about Kane Womack in this defense, I wonder, those other guys get scholarships also. And those other coaches get paid a lot of money also to try to find some yards and try to attack this Alabama defense. Like, it's a cat and mouse game. It's a chess game that, to expect perfection out of a defense is to not understand the game. But I think the defense is rounding out really, really, really nicely and playing pretty well, playing really high. I mean, I thought they played really well against South Carolina outside of one deep shot and getting put up with a short field, right? You gave up 2 touchdowns right there on a short field after the muff punt and on the 50-something yarder to Nick Harbor. But you held LSU 5 of 14 on 3rd downs. They didn't go for it on 4th down. I thought they played I thought the LSU coaching staff probably going to look themselves in the mirror yesterday and be ashamed of their lack of aggression. Like you opted for some field goals that you should have been. It's fourth and short. We're going for it. Like we don't have a job. We don't have we're all just placeholders. Let's go get a job by being aggressive and upsetting Alabama. But instead, they played pretty conservative. 5 of 14 on third downs. You held them to just 13 total first downs. You held them to 232 total yards. Like we said earlier, 59 yards on the ground. Everybody's been complaining about Alabama's rushing defense. 59 yards on the ground against a team that really, really wanted to run the football. LSU with 26 rushing attempts. So Alabama and LSU with the same amount of rushing attempts. You got some negative yardage with some Garrett Nussmeier sacks that played into that. Harlan Berry with 66 yards. He did rip off that 37-yarder, so he did get free for one bit bigger play. But Harlan Berry, 66 yards. Caden Durham, 3 carries, 4 yards. Like, that's your other big-time running back. And I'd take Caden Durham on this team right now. But 3 carries, 4 yards right there. Jojuan Johnson, 1 carry, 2 yards. Van Buren, 6 carries, 1 yard. He did have the 9-yard rush where he slid too early. Like, you slid too early. The game is still somewhat of the balance. Go for it. It's 4th and 1 from midfield. It's 4th and short from midfield. What are you doing? But no, they didn't go for it. And I don't really understand why. But I think Alabama's defense their receiving core is nasty, is nice. Aaron Anderson, 4 receptions, 16 yards. I thought the receiving core is really, really nice, and I thought this Alabama defense played really well.
I do too, right? You heard Lawson say best skill players they faced all year, and I'm thoroughly impressed by the Alabama defense. I want to throw you a question,
please.
I wrote about this last week after the press conference on Monday, and I think this question looms even larger now with what Yonsei Pierre did.
Mm-hmm.
Has Russaw lost his starting job? Is Yonsei Pierre going to stay out there on the field because the way he is playing right now, I am struggling to see how you can justify taking him off the field.
I think he's definitely lost his starting job for this year because I do think Quay's going to be coming back maybe even this week. But I think Quay's going to be coming back. But if I were this coaching staff and if I were Jeff Allen, the head trainer, I would be telling the coaches, hey, just don't start him. Just ease him in here. Let him play that backup role. I think that you're going to find packages where both Yonsei and Quay are on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of your answer there. And I think that Quay is a more balanced wolf as far as I can play the run and pass, but I think Yonsei is much better. Is a better pass rushing wolf, pass rushing outside linebacker. So to answer your question, kind of dancing around it, yes and no. Yes, I do think you've lost your starting job for the last couple of games of the year. I think that Quay is going to come back in the next week or two, maybe just for the Iron Bowl, but I think he's going to come back this month, and I think you'll see him in sub packages. So yes, he's lost his starting position. Does that mean he's lost his starting job for 2026? I don't quite think so.
Can he find a way for both of them to start next year? Can he move some stuff around with the guys you're losing? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that I think it'll be a game-by-game basis who starts in 2026.
That is obviously a big assumption that neither does jump in a portal, but then they're both,
Sorry, I thought I heard something.
That was my phone. Oh, ESPN notification there. But,
are they notifying you that Brian Daboll got fired?
Oh, I would love that. Nope, just fantasy. I wish. But no, I
traded for Bijan Robinson yesterday.
It's an aggressive move late in the year.
Hey, man, we're all in.
Now, it's hard to see either of those guys, especially Quay, leaving the program, right?
But, yeah, I think that Quay is probably going to be an ancillary piece the rest of the year when he comes back. But I think it will be an open discussion next year. It'll probably be hey, we're going to find out who has a better spring and summer.
That's a good problem to have between two really productive former 5 stars, all right?
Absolutely.
It's a phenomenal problem to have.
Yeah, it is. But I was really happy with the defense. I thought Dijon Lee. I mean, you didn't really get a big Trades Green play. Trades Green, 3 targets, no receptions, 1 drop. You had you had excuse me, you had Dijon Lee with a pass breakup in the end zone on a Trades Green jump ball. Outside of that, I think that really yes, I do think the defense probably gets about an A. The only reason I'm not giving them an A+ is because I think Garrett Nussmeier's a bum. I think that he's just bum is way too strong. That was too rude. But I think he's not really a threatening championship level quarterback that you have to. Oh gosh, he's gonna beat us over. He had some good throws. Nussmeier 18 of 21, 121 yards. Right. Yeah. So great. Your yards per attempt was like 3. It was like terrible. Let's see, 121 divided by 18 was, what was it actually? 121 by 18 was 6.7 yards per attempt. So really not very far depth of target. I was really happy with the defense. Do you have any critiques of the defense?
No, I don't think you can have any critiques. And I'm in the same exact boat you are. The only reason the D doesn't get an A+ is because of who they played.
Yeah, Nussmeier, not exactly a quarterback that puts fear into my boots. And neither is really John Mateer coming up. I think he's definitely better than Nussmeier, but I'm feeling like Alabama, Oklahoma might be 13-10.
And it's funny because I think if you asked us a month ago, like if you asked us a month ago, we could be talking about, like 41-38, like they're just airing it out all game, and these 2 QBs. And I agree. I think it's going to be a different kind of feel.
Yeah, not so good. One other note that we didn't bring up is penalties. Alabama under Coach Saban, the last 2 years was one of the most penalized teams in the NCAA. And a little bit last year with Coach DeBoer, still penalized pretty highly in a couple of big games. 2 penalties, 25 yards. 2 penalties. Like, come on, this team over the last couple of games has really, really ironed out the discipline. And you did mention the Bryant-Denny Stadium atmosphere, not so great. I don't think it was an A+, but I do think that you should give some credit to the fan base as a whole, because you forced 10 penalties for LSU, 2 penalties. What's wrong with that? Away. I want the away. I don't want home. I want away, and I want away penalties. How many? If you force 7 penalties offensively. False start, delay of game, false start. 6 penalties were, either you can say LSU lack of organization, and maybe wasn't skilled, but it was 6 pre-snap penalties. So you do have to give the fan base a bit of credit there. I also don't think there was that moment, like Dak said, where the roof came off, but I do think that there was several 7 out of 10 moments where instead of I don't think there was any 10 out of 10 just decibel level breaking the scale moments, but I do think there were several 7 out of 10s. We're standing on our feet. 6 pre-snap penalties on LSU's offense.
Yeah, maybe I was a little too critical in the beginning, but hey, when you have a weekend this good, right, when everything's going so well for Alabama, I guess you kind of have to look at little places to nitpick sometimes.
Yeah, right? I thought the weekend was just incredible.
It's about as good as it gets, huh?
Absolutely. And so I did hear that the basketball team didn't really get back on time. So I wonder what happened with Caleb Holt. I hope that he had a great visit, because if you get Caleb Holt for the next year's basketball team, oh gosh, that's a disgusting prospect. Man. That is a very, very, very good basketball player that I hope Nate Oates and company is able to figure out a way to land, whether it be NIL or playing style or anything. I just hope that they can keep that guy in state. Theo, anything else on this football game? I know I had a couple big rants. Do you have anything to rant about?
No, I'm not feeling in a very ranty mood right now. I think I've gotten it all out.
Yeah, the Giants have killed your will to live.
do have to bring up the name Connor Talty. Fortunately, that just it's not even. It's more of just. That's my reaction to. It's more of a just think about it and laugh thing. It hasn't cost the team yet. It won't be funny in the SEC.
How do you miss a 26-yard field goal, but you make 45 and you make 44?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it. And yes, the snap, let's be honest, the snap was high on the 26-yard miss.
It's 26 yards.
It was a high snap, and the ball got down a little late, I'm sure. But just trust it. Just trust that that the holder's going to catch it and put it down. And it's 26 daggum. Keep your head down, and I'll give him just a teeny bit of excuse there. The snap was high, the timing was just off a little bit, but it's 26 dadgum yards. All you gotta do is plant your foot and stroke it, my man. Just plant your foot and stroke it like everything else you've ever done. Instead, one little thing goes off. And the brain discombobulates, and I don't know if he didn't plant his foot right. That's my assumption, because he pushed it left. Your plant foot, your aiming foot, you pushed it left, and insane. Insane. Missed the 45-yarder. Okay, all right. You guys whatever, but I'm sitting here watching NFL kickers bang it from 59 yards this past weekend. A couple of them in the Sunday night game, right at 59 yards, and it's just you can't hit half that 26 yards. Nope. You can't hit half of that. And of course, it didn't matter as far as the total or as far as the spread. Yes, all the Alabama gamblers made their money. Great, but dadgummit, this Saturday, when it's a 6-3 game because your offense can't run the football and their pass rush is getting after Ty Simpson, but your defense gets a turnover on the 20-yard line and you get junked up and you have to kick a field goal, you got to make it.
Joe, it feels almost inevitable that he will ultimately end up missing a kick that really, really costs Alabama something at some point, because it's just...
it's going to be in 2 weeks down there on the plane.
Oh, yeah. I think fourth and anything less than 7 yards, you go.
It doesn't matter. You're punting or you're going for it. Yeah. We're punting and playing field position because our defense has found itself a little bit. Yeah. And you're saying, Blake Dowd, can you punt them inside the 5 and try to get after them defensively, play for the safety or something? But I do not and this is not personal at all, Connor. I don't have anything against you at all. I don't know anything about you. We'll say that. So I don't know if you're a good kid or a bad kid, but because of that, I'm going to assume you're a good kid because I assume the best out of people. But I don't know anything about you other than the kicking. And it's I don't understand it, my man. And of course, Will Riker spoiled everybody. We're down on the sidelines for this last one. 4:30 left in the game. 44-yarder that he makes. I've got a video of it on my Twitter. And unnamed Alabama staffer is standing 4 or 5 yards away from us. Turns away from the kick. I can't watch. Turns away from the kick and just head up, and just listens to the crowd reaction. And he was like, we need to put a statue of Will Reichert out there. We've got to put a statue out there. And it's oh my gosh. Drives me nuts. And I stupidly default to, yeah, you can figure it out, can't you?
No.
Can't you?
Nope. That will not be figured out this year. Man, it's unfortunate, but
so where is the kicker in this 2026 recruiting class, Coach DeBoer?
Yeah, seriously.
Because I'm still on 24/7 looking at the class, and I don't see anybody with a K next to their name.
Someone's got to get paid a lot of money, man. And I don't want anyone. I don't care what award they won. You don't bring in someone from the MAC. You bring in someone who's kicked in an 80,000 capacity stadium before,
I don't understand it.
Just, man.
And yes, the snap and the hold have to be right. And so, you can go back and say, well, it was a high snap. And it was a high snap. But it's a 26-yard field goal. You get more grace on it's 45 yards. I got to boom this, baby. I got to have everything perfect.
he missed that kick against FSU. I don't think anyone was upset.
No, yeah, right. You throw him out there for 52 yards, and it's just like, well, dice roll, baby. Just roll the dice, see if it comes up 7, and it didn't, and it's fine. But like 26 yarder, that's automatic. That's layup territory. That's unguarded layup territory. That ain't contested layup. Go up and slam that ball through the hole because nobody's guarding you. So
I guess the question is, he hadn't attempted a kick since Mizzou, right?
Okay.
How little can you realistically use him down the stretch? Like, how much can Alabama just not use a kicker?
Well, if you had a running game, you could really you could mitigate all this because it could be 3rd and 15, and you could run for 6 yards and then go for it on 4th and 9 or whatever the case may be. But you don't have a running game. Like Connor Talty, we'll say the good as well. 32 of 32 on extra points. Great job.
Yes.
Great job. And Blake Dowd's been punting his tail off the last handful of weeks.
He really has.
So I mean, we're here with the special teams. Blake Dowd, you get gold stars over the last couple of weeks also. Terrible, unbelievable. Blake Dowd 3 punts, 120 yards, average 40 yards a kick. All three of them were downed inside the 20. Great job, great stuff.
And again, that's part of the hey, maybe you can punt in some real,
I'd put Blake Dowd out there. I'd put Blake Dowd out there in field goal formation and pooch punt it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do. I'd
really
direct snap it to Blake Dowd and pooch punt it.
We're pretty good at getting down there and down in that football.
Flip side of the punting game, Cole Adams. Buddy, I don't know if it's a coverage issue, if it's a blocking issue, but you haven't gotten anything out of the punt return game the whole year. Like, congratulations, you've caught the ball most of the time.
Hey, he did have that one that was called back.
When? In this game?
Yeah. He had a solid return that was
two returns, 22 yards, 12-yard long. Was it?
Oh, no, never mind. It was a defensive penalty. So he had the 12-yard return.
Great.
That was something.
Give you a C.
I agree, though.
Yeah. Blake Dowd, close to an A, B+, A-.
We really can't throw Jalen Mbakwe out there to return punts for us.
I don't know how.
Like,
I don't want to talk about Jalen Mbakwe because I'll get myself in trouble.
Oh,
yeah. I hope that he can find that role. That'd be great.
I mean, it should be the perfect role.
Absolutely, it should be. Theo, what else you got on this football team? Or you want to say anything about Oklahoma? Because I may not have you on. I want to have you on, but last week really upset me to not have you on Friday because I had some plans and then the plans changed like that morning. It would have been great to have you on Football Friday. I want to have you back on Football Friday.
Well, hey, if I'm not able to make it in, I will leave a voicemail for this Friday. So I'll hold off on any predictive stuff. And if I feel the need to give a take Friday and, you continue to lock me out of the studio in here, I'll be calling in Friday. So I'll make sure to get my takes out there.
All right. That'll be good. We're going to try to have you on Friday. I don't have anything planned for that. Oh, I got to reach out to an Oklahoma guy for Thursday this week. So hopefully we can do that. Going to be a big week. We're about to go to the facility to hear from Ryan Grubb, Kane Womack, and Kalen DeBoer. We'll hear from Nate Oates on Wednesday, I believe, before the huge game on Thursday. We can take your voicemail on basketball or on football at 205-462-7340, extension 800. Real quick, right now, today, which team do you have more confidence in winning the SEC championship? Basketball or football?
Football.
Woo! Okay.
I mean, it's just, look, I love this basketball team, but it is the SEC. It is. Mark Pope has a phenomenal squad in Lexington. The team that if the season ended today is a crazy statement because it just started. But if I had to say who I think will win the national championship, I would say Kentucky. I think they are a phenomenal squad. So I'm going to go football. Basketball is a very real chance, though.
Kentucky, number one in Kenny Pompous. Ken Pom has them number one. They've smacked Nichols and Valparaiso. I guess that's enough to give Theo Fernandez a big
pass and beat They're not passing the eye test. They are redefining the eye test.
Tomorrow night against Louisville.
Mark Pope's got jury duty though. He might not make it.
That account has gotten so many people.
It's hilarious.
That account. Be careful where you're getting your news. Be careful now. That account's gotten a lot of people. Louisville tomorrow night. Ken Palm has Louisville winning 84-83. Kenny Pomeroy. After Alabama's big game on Saturday. Oh Lord, Kenny Pompous said that Alabama will be winning against Purdue.
Have you seen that there's like this female like folk singer named Ken Pomeroy?
Yes.
Who's like been popping up on all these festivals.
Yes. Type in Ken Pomeroy on your Spotify and you'll be able to listen to some unique music.
I'm looking through like these music festivals and I'm like, I want to see Ken Palm go up there and rank teams.
Yeah, Ken Palm has Alabama beating Purdue 86-85. So boy, if that happens, we may not have a show on Friday because I'll just be losing my brain too much.
That'll be depressing.
No, if we win,
no,
it'll be crazy. All right, so we're getting out of here. We've had a long show today. We appreciate everybody who's listened to us each and every minute. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. Share the show with a friend. We would love that. Share the show in your Facebook groups, this, that, and the other. We're going to have a lot of fun the rest of the week talking about Alabama, Oklahoma, reacting to what the coaches have to say. Today, we'll have new college football rankings on Tuesday night, so we'll see if Alabama moves up or down. Probably will stay the same. And then we will see what happens going forward. This is a huge, huge game on Saturday against the Oklahoma Sooners, and we'll break it all down the rest of the week right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com.